Final shape coming up in the next month, I want to put together a list of the best things that you guys can do before the final shape releases. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is simply creating 3 characters. Now, with the new changes to the new light experience, creating 3 Guardians is as easy as it's ever been. All you gotta do is complete the first mission and claim the chest in the Hall of Champions, maxing out your character's power level and giving it half decent gear. Then once you do this, you can simply leave those characters and forget about them. But when the final shape releases, it's gonna be useful because Bungie has announced that they're updating the power leveling system to be account wide. Now this is a big deal because before, if you did all your pinnacles and powerfuls on one character and you switch to your next character, your character would still be at base and you'd have to redo all your pinnacles and powerfuls. However, now that it's account wide, if you do all of your power leveling on one character, like your hunter, and you switch to your titan will now be your hunter's power level. The reason why this is useful is because then on your titan, you can do all your pinnacles and powerfuls, and this will drastically increase the rate at which you're able to power level your characters. Now, let's say you don't care about power level. Well, having 3 Guardians is still incredibly useful because every week you're able to get 3 secret chests, 1 on each character, almost guaranteed. This will give you 15 spoils of conquest each week. And all you have to do is join up on Destiny 2 checkpoint bot, go copy and paste Dakota's end join link, type /join in the command prompt, copy and paste the name, hit enter. Once you guys join, you're going to be led straight into the first encounter, and all you guys got to do is follow the path on screen. This is an incredibly easy way to gain spoils of conquest. It takes almost 0 effort. It takes a max of 5 minutes per character, and it's incredibly useful. This allows almost all players, even if you don't know how to raid or don't want to raid, get raid loot and weapons and spoils of conquest, which is extremely useful, especially when the new raid releases on June 7th. If you guys farm this every week, you're going to have no problem unlocking all those red borders when the new raid releases on June 7th. Now, the next thing I want to cover is that Bungie announced that all legendary shards are going to be removed by the final shape. What you guys can do to spend your legendary shards are basically 2 things. You're going to want to stock up on rally banners, especially with the new raid coming up. And the other thing you guys can do is you guys can actually buy phantasmal fragments. These cost about 10 legendary shards, and you can actually spend these for glimmer at Raoul. This is going to be useful because with final shape releasing, you're not going to be able to gain glimmer by dismantling ships. This is going to be one of the best ways to store your legendary shards and have them not just disappear completely. A really old tactic a lot of people do is they would shove a lot of ships and sparrows into their vault to store glimmer, but you will not be able to get glimmer by dismantling ships when the final shape releases. Another thing you guys should do before the final shape releases is claim Rulu's stash. This stash will actually be refilled when the final shape releases, so there's no point in saving it until the final shape. You're not going to get extra rewards because they simply won't refill if you haven't claimed them already. Another quick PSA I wanted to talk about is that all the shiny weapons will be removed in the Brave Arsenal when the final shape releases. This is really important because they're really cool. Let's be real here. So if you want to have that, I was there moment, as they said in the Bungie live stream, this is just a great way of getting extra perks in multiple columns and having a really cool shader that won't be available once the final shape releases. So make sure to grind out those weapons right now. Another thing I want to talk about is Riven's Wishes. Riven's Wishes are really good because one of the best things that you can get from them are red borders from the Last Wish raid. Some of these weapons, especially like the Apex Predator, are extremely good and one of the top DPS weapons in the entire game and are extremely worth getting. Even if you can't raid or don't have time to raid, just simply doing these quests and unlocking some of the best weapons in the entire game is 100% worth it because you will not be able to do this once the final shape releases. Another thing you guys won't be able to do when the final shape releases is claim some season pass loot from a couple seasons ago. You're always able to do this, but it only goes up to a certain amount of seasons, so it's important to check and make sure you guys claimed all your season pass rewards and the ones you're able to claim on the Bungie website. One thing that's going to be really important before you face the witness in the final shape is make sure you grind and unlock all those aspects and fragments for your strand and stasis subclasses. These are really easy. Stasis literally only costs glimmer now, and strand plus strand meditations, and this is extremely important to finish unlocking all those aspects and fragments. They used to be really tedious to grind out, but now they're easier than ever, so it's really important to make sure you unlock them before the final shape. Now, the last 2 main things I want to cover are really bonus things. You guys don't necessarily have to do these. They're always going to be available to do even after the final shape, but bounty prep and stacking Paraversal Halls are going to be really helpful to do before the final shape releases. If you guys stack up a bunch of bounties, you can claim them all right when the final shape releases. This will give you a head start on the season pass, but more importantly, your artifact, which gives some of the best mods in the entire game and can be absolutely game breaking given on the season's artifact. Paraversal hulls are also pretty helpful as well, as to help you increase your power level. You can get these from Zur and the Star Horse on the 30th anniversary. And all you guys have to do is open some of these when you're power leveling to help fill in the gaps. They actually drop at power level some of the gear, and they can be extremely helpful when power leveling. Now that is the last thing I wanted to mention here today, but I hope you guys are excited for the final shape. It is coming up very soon, and I hope these tips help you prepare. But with that, guys, this is for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.